Boa noite, pessoal, aqui no canal do SouJava. Vamos lá, Sérgio, pode falar boa noite também?
Boa noite. Estamos todos aqui reunidos para mais um meetup, né?
Sim, mais um meetup internacional, então provavelmente vamos mudar para o inglês para trazer o nosso convidado. Ele adora aprender línguas, ele está aprendendo, acho que várias línguas agora, né, Sérgio? Ainda provavelmente ele vai entrar e vai querer falar um pouquinho em português.
Vai dar uma arranhada no português aqui.
É isso aí. Bom, então vamos mudar aqui para o inglês agora, mas vocês que estiverem no chat, por favor, digam aí de onde vocês estão falando, assistindo a gente e tal, e aí a gente vai conversando, tá ok? So, let's switch to English, okay?
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to this meetup in SouJava International Channel. So, today we will have a special guest. His name is Nikita Koselev, I think so. Sorry, Nikita, if I did some mistake in your name, in pronunciation your name, but
Your name.
but it's an awesome talk. I will bring it in. You want to say something, Sergio, before to come in?
I just want to talk to say about we are talking today about open source and how can I use this to grow up as developers.
Yeah, awesome. Let's come in. Please, Nikita, join us. Hello, Nikita.
Hi. Boa tarde, meus amigos. Sorry, I hope I didn't insult the whole beautiful nation. And konnichiwa, the Japanese part of beautiful Brazil society. And buenas tardes, amigos míos in Spanish. If anybody here is, if I didn't insult people enough.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
My name is Nikita Koselev, and that's the talk which I intended to give. I'm not sure how much it is related now with the name, but we'll see. You won't see much code here, but well, wait till the end.
Yeah.
So you can see my links here. So join me on Twitter, help me, and well, you'll actually help yourself and the community and a lot of amazing people. And yeah, help me to help others. That's the message. So
awesome.
Awesome.
If I'm speaking too fast, tell me. I'm autistic. Highly likely my tests are on the 28th. So let's see. So let's say I'm autistic and I enjoy it. But I'm sorry in advance if I insult anybody or if I say something that you don't like or if I scratch in a bad way. Just let me know. I'll fix it.
Okay.
Maybe. No hard promises here.
No worries.
Don't worry about that.
It happens every 3 years, but that's fine.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. So that's how it all. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. So everyone, if you are watching us, please tell me in the chat, where are you watching us? Where are you right now? Okay. And let's see. Let us know if you are enjoying this session, especially because talking about open source is so important, especially for example, we are working with Java. Java is open source, and it's everything can grow up in our career, get our career in the next step if you pay attention to this subject.
If you want to ask a question, don't be afraid to ask in Portuguese. We help you to translate to English to Nikita here, or if you want
I can understand myself.
Very good.
Some very basic. Is it pão, the bread in Brazil? In Portuguese, sorry? Pão? How do you say bread?
Bread, pão.
Pão. Okay.
Pão.
So yeah, my Duolingo is failing me, but
yeah. Pão. Everyone likes pão.
Yeah.
Likes bread. So.
And milk is like leite or something like this.
Leite.
Leche in Spanish, leite in Portuguese.
Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty similar sometimes. I don't understand much Spanish, but Sergio knows it. Sergio can help.
I don't know a lot. I know just a little bit.
Okay,
So
so do you want to get started, Nikita?
yeah,
Are
let's
you
roll the
raise
dice.
your yeah? Let's dive
Yeah,
in right now. Okay, so
it's Hajime.
we are Hajime,
Uh,
and go ahead. Bye.
all
See ya.
right.
The stage is yours.
So, what are the mods amigas, meus amigas? And today we're going to speak or to actually open source together about growing the open source community. So, I will be a little bit selfish and I will talk about myself as well, just so you understand the journey, because it's more like a journey, it's not like a target. So, it's more like Japanese or Chinese or Asian way, the journey. So I'm probably autistic, as I mentioned. So I'll find it out in the end of this month. But I'm sorry in advance. So let me know. I'm sorry for hurting somebody, not for accidentally, not for being autistic. So it's all started here actually. If you Google for what clinical depression is, well, it has to start somewhere, right? Every good story has to start somewhere. So I have been suffering from a clinical depression, and well, people ask me what it feels like. So it looks like it is when you cannot lift your hand, like really, and when you're just laying on the floor, and when you feel sad, and the sad on the level that somebody has died, like if you imagine this moment, but you feel constantly that, and you don't know the reason. So that's clinical depression. And when suicidal thoughts come every 2 hours or more often. So yeah, so I Googled, and well, I reasoned. Being IT person actually helped me because I used logical reasoning, and I thought that, well, I can kill myself anytime, but just in case if I'm wrong, just 1% if I'm wrong and my brain is failing me, let's look for help. So, and I recommend looking for help in any situation, guys, especially in this one. So yeah, doctors, meditation, friends. My wife's asked me to see psychologists. Psychologists asked me to see psychiatrists, and that's actually quite nice. I mean, they know like wires to your brand stuff, and friends also supported me. So it gave me some space to identify the problems I was going through, because my psychiatrist's approach is that medication is not there to fix things. Medication is there to create some space for you so you can breathe, so you can find the stuff which caused the depression, and to you can fix it. So yeah. So why am I here? That's the question. So why am I, or why was I there in this point of depression? So well, I was getting old, and I really didn't like myself in many ways. Especially, I felt like I'm not performing at work, I'm not performing in life, and well, my marriage was breaking apart. So currently, I'm getting out. So I'm divorcing, but that's a good divorce. Our relationship with my relationship with my wife has improved a lot, and we are even more friends now than we were before. And other points are also getting better continuously. Maybe not that fast, but continuously. So yeah. And actually, I'm getting my wife. We're still married. I'm getting her into open source. So when I got this space, so I had this depression. I think it was last August, and then it was a long path, like very long, and getting out of this cold, dark space. And then something, well, life is full of accidents. And when you are in depression, you don't see them, but don't see the opportunities. But then opportunities start coming and you notice them. So London Java community was asking for volunteers to come to DevOps UK. And that's a really nice conference. So, well, I was already not suffering from depression because I was on medication and I had friends. So I said, yeah, I'm in. So I came to the London Java community to this deluxe thing, and well, that was the best fail in my life, I think, or the second best, because well, unfortunately, the key people, the ones who are running it, LJC, they got sick with COVID, and all the swag remained at their home. So we literally had an empty table there. and it was only me and Abby there, so we couldn't do much. And that caused me to start and go and talk to people. And I want to. There were so many people, and I literally ran into one of the speakers there, Benjamin Muscala. So, which made me, because I ran into him in the stairs, actually, he waited for me while I was taking a picture, and then we started speaking, and then we spoke for an hour about artificial intelligence and the job he's doing, what he's doing at GitLabs. He's doing Copilot there, I think. No, not I think. He was speaking about Copilot. And then it came out that actually he's one of the key speakers at the conference. And now I couldn't miss his speech because we're almost friends now, or we're friends. How do you miss a talk of your friend? You don't. So I just went there. So that's Benjamin. He's giving his talk on the open source effect. This is a really nice talk. So basically, he talked about many things. For example, he talked about amazing people, amazing contributors, world-renowned and everything, and how they started. And many of them, if not most, and by the way, this is available publicly. You can watch this video. It's amazing. And you can subscribe to my account, or just DM me. I will give you the links. So most of these people, or at least many of them, they got into open source by non-coding contributions, because people think that open source is about, it has to be hard, that it is hard. People think that open source is about coding. It's not. And well, and I was sitting there and I was listening for all those amazing examples. And at one second, there was a second which was like, I felt like my life changed. So there was a second before when I was in depression, when I was walking on the street and the world became darker, like physically, and it lost colors. So my psychologist said it happens. So that's how I understood that I'm in depression. But at this moment at Benjamin's talk, it was the opposite effect. I understood that finally I understand why I'm there. I'm at this conference so I can talk to people, I can feel people, I can help people, I can be with them. And not like before, I was going there for fun, or it was still fun, but it was other kind of fun, or for food, or for nice talks. Now it was only about people and so first people, and now technology was coming second or 10th after the people. Before it was coming first. So I was at developers conference listening about open source, and it made technology for me less important than people. And then there was a questions time. And of course I had a question. Well, maybe it's my autism. So I asked Benjamin, how do you start there? How do you, that's all good. It's all nice. But how do you actually do this stuff? How do you actually start? And an amazing person stood up, Sal. So thank you, Sal. You really changed my life. And Sal, they said that, well, they gave me some answers. And then after the talk, I tried to catch up with Sal. And it was quite funny because there were people between me and Sal, and I was like running, and Sal was already leaving because I could see that Sal has a jacket and some bags, so probably Sal was there just for this talk. I don't know, but I got up and Sal, they were so kind, and Sal talked to me, and then Sal spent like 15 minutes, and Sal explained. And Sal is an amazing person. If you just look Sal's LinkedIn profile, and Sal also does a podcast, profile is amazing. So it's MIT, it's Boeing, it's everything. So Sal has a hobby. Sal takes one person. It's a hobby. It takes one person. And Sal brings this person all the way to the first commit to the open source. And that's it. So that's the hardest part. It's not the hardest part in open source is not even making your project build. The hardest part is to make the first commit. After first commit, everything is easy. So, and then there was also this talk. This is Kevlin Henney, and he's talking about, he's talking about many things. But the way I understood it, it was how do you get things done faster or done at all by going slower. And his example was that imagine you have a car. So I will make it Brazilian example. So imagine I'm in Rio de Janeiro and there's a road, like 10 kilometers road, and you give me a Ferrari to go there and from A to B. And there are roundabouts, traffic lights and stuff all along the way. And you tell me, it's nice Ferrari, everything is fine, you can drive it. There's only one problem. It's small, it won't impact you. It doesn't have any brakes. Brakes are gone. So, guys, I'm not going to ride a Ferrari, however beautiful it is, even 50 kilometers per hour in Rio de Janeiro, because, well, I still have things to do in this world. I will take a bus. It will be slower, but it will be faster because I will get there in one piece. Maybe, at least probability is bigger. So then I was, for some time, these ideas from Benjamin, Sal, Kevlin, and many other people I've met. Sorry, guys, I cannot mention everybody, and well, I'm very bad in human names. I was thinking, what can I do? And the answer was simple, of course, open source. So one of the things is that I don't see myself as a very fast developer, and that's where my autism kicks in. I'm very good in drilling into like things like finding answers to questions which nobody can answer, like or I'm very good in bringing people together. But if you place me next to let's say an average developer or a good developer, then I will be slower. So I thought, okay, let's use open source. Let's go and study Java, learn Java, because what's the best way to learn Java? Well, forget Coursera. Okay, you can use it. You can use certification. You can use books. But just become a part of OpenJDK or just help Microsoft to develop their JVM or somebody else and start contributing and start contributing. You'll know the latest features. You'll know people. You will learn faster and more fruitfully because you'll be benefiting people. There will be communication. So no book can compete with it. No Coursera can compete with it. No university can compete with it. You'll be having the freshest and the most interesting stuff from Java. So that looks right? Wrong. I thought I had another question then. So what? Yes, there is a shortage of Java developers, but well, we can get more Java developers, but will it be my best help for the society? Because even if I succeed, well, I will make some software happen, but if I'm not there, it will happen anyway. Maybe I will make some code run faster, but like even in the cases where like I solve problems which 7 people couldn't solve, even in these cases, well, just give them some more time and they will solve it. So, well, maybe there's a way to help community better. So, and then I understood that my journey in its way, like all these depressions and suicide thoughts and stuff, they're quite unique, and they're not, because there are people who are like me. There are people from disprivileged backgrounds. There are people who started from quite poor families. For example, my family couldn't afford buying us yogurt. I didn't know what it tastes like till I was 15. It's a yogurt. It's like, I don't know, it's 50p now. I don't know, I earn probably 100 yogurts per hour or something. I don't know. So I started thinking about these people because in IT, we need people. We need more people. We have so many challenges in IT. We have so many things to do. And there are people all around the world. Some of them can code. Some of them can create art for IT projects. Some of them can generate ideas. Some of them can translate. But they cannot get a job in IT because their family cannot afford sending them to uni. I'm not speaking even about MIT or Oxford. Some of them cannot go to a uni, like a college, or I don't know, buy a laptop. So what if I help these people? So I thought that there's a movie called Sucker Punch. And there was this idea, of course, it's not from the movie, it's from somewhere else, but and from the movie as well. So I have to remove myself from the equation in a way. So what if I stop waiting for like more knowledge to help people? What if I start helping people now with what I know already instead of waiting till I become a perfect developer? So one of the things actually which was funny, I decided that because before that I was doing mentoring and probably I saved one person from suicide, but I realized that I cannot help everybody and I'm not a doctor as well. So I'm very careful with helping people. So I would rather help a lot of people who can be helped with certain degree of effort than helping one person and putting all my efforts on that. So how do I do it? How do I use my IT skills there? So, well, let me challenge MIT. Let me challenge Oxford. Let me be better than them. They, as you will see, they cannot really compete with me. This is so funny. This is crazy. This is from the guy who couldn't afford buying a yogurt. I didn't even think about it. It was too expensive. So on the 5th of June, 2022, I founded the open source community. Actually, it happened before because I've done a Zoom call with, it was 3 of us. So I've done a Zoom call with 2 amazing developers from North Africa. And well, and they liked it because I showed them how to get into open source. I answered some questions and they were so amazed with it. And they asked, like, can I do a meetup? And I said, well, I can, but we'll need people. Oh, don't worry, we'll bring people. And bring people they did. Because on July 6th, we are 271 people strong. And well, I had to add that it's free, remote first, and worldwide, so people don't think it's only London, and they don't ask if how much they should pay for that. So we'll even have our YouTube, and well, also as you can see, like before I had like 20 people on Twitter. Now it's 500. Before it was like 30 people per 3 months checking my profile. Now it's 1,300. And it's quite funny when somebody from Forbes list contacts you and says that you're doing a good job, don't stop, it's really needed. Because so many people, they come and they just say that, well, you're doing a great job. And that actually matters because when you help, you need to get something back, at least emotionally, otherwise you burn out. And well, my journey is too important. I cannot afford being burnt out. So how do I help these people? Oh, how do I actually like make it efficient? So 2 amazing people. So one is Simon Sinek, but another one is, for me personally, is more amazing. It's Bruno Souza because, sorry, Bruno, if I mispronounce your family name, because Simon Sinek wrote a nice book about the goals, but Bruno is the one who actually taught me to practically use it in practice. So basically, what I do is that I help people one person at a time, but everybody is watching. Sometimes I do one-on-one, but I'm trying to help people. Like, so normally people come to me and I'm just asking, like, how can I help? Where do you want to work? And he says, or he or she says that, oh, I want to work in finance. It's always finance. And I want to migrate, let's say, to London. And my question is then, well, are you sure you really want to work in finance? Do you read Financial Times to your grandmother every evening? Because if not, then probably you don't want to work in finance. It's just a way to earn money. And do you really want to live in London? Because let's say you're from India and you have a big family there, or do you see it as a way to earn money? So let's do it the other way around. Let's find something you love and let's find a community or a company which shares this love. And let's find a way to help them using open source. This is so easy. So there are examples. So there are many examples. So for example, well, if you like Java, if you like coding, if you like Java, I will, if you really love Java, I will help you to start contributing to OpenJDK, or I will help you to start contributing to the main projects using Java, and I will make sure that, well, that you do it in the right way. I will make sure that you won't be an unnamed hero. I will help you with marketing because you need to be seen. Because if let's say, because if I'm teaching this to somebody who is in Central Africa and this person might not even have a computer, so this person might be even using a mobile phone. So, well, that's a very it's not risky, but I don't want to make it risky. So this person should not only contribute, I'm also teaching how to make it seen. I want this person to be seen for what this person is doing, and this person will be a contributor constantly. So, and if this person is contributor, let's say to OpenJDK and one of the top ones for a year, and then if this person is not hired by Oracle, this person will be hired by Microsoft. If not, then some other amazing company will hire this person. And it won't matter by this time, actually, because this person will know Java better than many people from unis, even MIT. Well, that's what I think. And this person will have a GitHub, and this GitHub will be full, but it will be full not with your, well, not with, sorry, not with home projects, like the projects which nobody needs but the author. It will be full with projects which community needs. So I will help to find projects which do with sports, which do with Java, which do with your true love. It can be theater. I know a company who does ticketing for theaters, so I can help with that. And if I cannot help, I will ask for help, and somebody will find, because open source is everywhere. The open source is, it's like a blood in the society. So anything society does, anything, there will be an open source project about it. And in a very rare case, if it ever happens, if the project is not there, let's create it. Like for this meetup, we actually have an open source project. And there's another story that a person who is, I think, a chief dev advocate or something like this from Twitter came to me and actually fixed my project, the one I created. That's another story about Andy. Thank you. Andy is an amazing person. So, and Andy actually came to our meetup as well. So, and they lived happily ever after, right? Well, yes, and not exactly, because these are my details. But my message is that, well, enough talk. Let's do some open source. Let's see. And by the way, guys, if you know any disprivileged communities, so any people who want to get into IT, want to earn good money as a result, or if you want to help me with creating groups in Portuguese, with groups in Tamil, in Hindi, in Zulu, if you know somebody from North America or anywhere else, help me. I will help you to create like a pod. So we'll share this idea all around the world. So now let's see. So for example, somebody likes platforms. That's an artificial example because not many people know that platforms exist. But that's an Apache project. And that's actually quite funny because I've actually commented on a Dev2 article from Maxim, who is one of the main people in the DevLake and America company. And he replied to me, and then we started talking, and he told me about this project. And then this project moved to Apache incubator. So you open GitHub. So that's what I tell people. When you come to me, just make sure that you created your GitHub account. That's all you need. So, and actually, when you click start here, you're already an open source contributor because there's an impact. But we don't stop here. We click fork, and I have already forked it, obviously, right? And then we go here. And there are other things which I teach, that things like, I'm just trying to save some time here now. but there are things like of being nice and reading contributing MD and stuff. So let's see. So for example, this what can we fix? Because my idea is just to make this stone rolling. My idea is that this amazing person who decided to onboard onto this journey will deliver something, and then I will help this person to actually write a post about it or tweet about it and share it with the community. So there's a pencil here, or you can click E button. So you don't actually need an IDE. And actually, there's a, if I think if you press a dot, it will actually open a Visual VM. Let's try. Yeah, web editor. Oh, yeah. So it's a dot, but we won't use a dot today because I'm not very good with this thing. But you can do it. And these are my plugins for IntelliJ. So you press E, and we go here. And I don't like this the way it looks because it's inconsistent and I'm autistic. So that's it. So now we do fix necessary words removed from a hyperlink for the benefit of my talk to SouJava. I guess that's the right one. Smile, you are on camera. Okay, and we create a pull request because, well, I might be fixing quite a number of things, so I don't want to have one master because maybe this one will get rejected. So, so create a new branch. Well, I'll just create this one, but actually hyperlink fix, hyperlink minor fix, something like this. I know it's not the perfect name because actually normally what I would do, I would go to this repository here. That's what I tell people. So check that contribute.md is there or not, but don't spend too much time because it can prevent you from contributing. Because if it's like 10 pages long, and maybe it will be your contribution won't be accepted anyway. And then go to closed issues and check how they name it. So you can see it's quite a freestyle here. So here I create proposed changes. And now if I go to here, I can do this. And because I only modified text, I don't need to follow rules about building, at least as I see it. And done. Now, if I go to my profile, it became greener here. But that's, for me, that's okay. But for somebody who just starting, that will be amazing. I have people who did IT for 8 years, and they only started doing that stuff because of me. And these people, they really know stuff. And I have people who just started. And basically what I'm telling them that the beauty of open source, the beauty of IT is that there are so many roles there. Developers the code is just one small slice. There's place for people who do art. There's place for people who do project management. There's place for business analysts, for system analysts, for test engineers. Test engineers, there are many kinds of them. There's place for people who translate it to Portuguese. So there's space for everybody. So as long as you are really willing to get better, well, join us and let's work together and let's make it in Portuguese as well, and in Spanish and in any other language, Japanese, why not? So I will help you to help society, and as you help society, as we together help society, we will become visible. We'll make sure that we are visible, and we'll get into conferences, and we'll help the industry and we'll help the planet, because the planet really needs more software engineers, because we have so many challenges, guys. And the societies need people who earn a lot, and they earn a lot while working remotely and being close to their society, to their groups of people. And I help one developer from one village, and this village will live better. So, well, that's as you can see, there's nothing special. Like, well, That's it. It's a very simple idea. So I'm sorry, guys, but I'm afraid that I will never know Java
Oh
because this
man,
this stuff is bigger than me. No.
it, it was amazing. Actually, we have a couple questions in the chat. I must thank you for
Oh,
everyone in the chat and send us questions. We got two special guests down here in the chat. Bruno Souza in the chat and Yogo as well.
hola, Bruno.
Daniel, hello Daniel Junior as well. No, well, they send us special questions, and I think that most of us sometimes asking the same question. Let me put down here in a stream. So one question that I get all the time, everyone I think get the same question. Which project to participate and how to find the right project, Nikita? Do you have
Second
some
question is
tip?
come to me because as my no seriously as my experience shows, it's not enough to read Simon Sinek's book. You need Bruno or somebody like Bruno to actually put it into practice. I'm not Bruno, but Bruno is a human as everybody. He has his capacity. So I don't want him to overhelp and just drop. So I'll do what I can, and I will forward people to Bruno or somebody. But so that was the second question, right? Can you please repeat
Yeah.
the questions? My autism is.
The first question is which project to participate. I think that it's related to what project that we need to
That,
pay attention and then start to contribute. I
that,
think so. Am I
that,
right?
that,
When you start to contribute, which project I have to choose?
that's a very good question because it's very wrong. Don't start with choosing a project. Start with finding your love. I'm a matchmaker in a way. So, for example, is it Sergio, right? What
Yes,
is your?
right.
Do you have a hobby?
Yes.
Which one?
I love comic books. I read a lot of comic books.
So let's do Marvel, right? Let's find
Yes.
something related to Marvel. Or
Yeah.
basically, what I will do, I will help you to find uh, something related to Marvel. I'm not sure if it is one related, but and it takes time. So sometimes I come back a bit later. Oh,
But
sorry, you cannot see my screen, right? One second.
No, no, I can add you right now. Hold on.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine.
by the way, Marvel has a awesome API to
Yeah. So let
to
me
create
just yeah.
amazing projects.
So yeah, that's my. Oh, sorry, I lost the video of you guys. So yeah, I will just take something you love, and I will help you to find a group of people and companies who share the same love, and then I will start contributing. So, for example, if you love Java, because some people they really love Java, like really, really, I will help them to start contributing to Microsoft Java. If it's possible, I will help them to start contributing to OpenGDK and to one of the projects using latest Java, and I will help them to become visible. So it's not the you're not choosing the project. You are finding. It's like a journey to find what you love, because I want you to be happy and successful. I don't want you to be in the same dark and cold place as I was with these suicide thoughts, because not everybody gets out of there. So I
Uh,
don't want you to exchange all your relatives
I,
to working in finance in London if it's
I
not what
I
you love.
I agree with you. We spend a lot of time coding. We spend a lot of time in front of a computer doing code, doing analysis, doing troubleshootings. If we don't, if you don't love what you are doing, it's a lot of more difficult to learn. To you have to, how I say, you have to have pleasure doing that.
Yeah. Why not get paid for what you love? So why not make your hobby part of your hobby your job? I understand there are corner cases, but I've seen so many GitHub projects now. If we go to my account, I'm not sure how many. Yeah, 163. In, in many of them, pardon me, I don't really know the language. I think I contributed to OpenJDK. I think I contributed to TypeScript. I don't remember. I fixed README files because my idea is to bring people into it. I cannot know everything. But I know the projects for sports because a friend of mine from India, he is into sports and he wanted into finance, but well, now he knows about IMG Arena. So I talk to people about Financial Times. I'm quite sure they have a repository. Let's check. I think Financial Times has. They're amazing people. So if you really love finance, then yeah, so that's actually careers, but they're not about careers. So wow, come on. And it's verified, by the way, it's important. Ideally, you want them to be verified. So if you really love finance, don't read Financial Times. Read it a little bit, 10% of your time, but 80% of your time contribute to Financial Times. Easy.
Oh, great. We got another question as well. Let me bring you down here, okay? Are you close the share window because without because we can see you when you added the question down here. Okay, so Daniel Jr. Comments. Let me see. I see three major issues working with open source. One, how to make a living from it. Second, find time to contribute when you have a day job. How can I think that that's the question. How can I find time to
To do the,
contribute when we are working, spend most of the time today working a job, just like that.
Mhm.
The third one is he find our technology for
Okay.
for meaningful contributions. I
The
think
third
that
one,
he
yeah.
can bring three major issues actually.
Well,
Do you
that's a very
agree?
good question. And I've already, there were people who asked me, thank you them very much. Well, I'm not a magician. I cannot make stuff happen of a thin air. So the issues with open source are similar to the issues with MIT. But my meetup is easier and more human friendly than MIT. So it is cheaper, like $400,000. It is easier to participate because you can choose the time, and I don't ask you to do some exams or something. I just empower you. So don't expect magic to happen. Then, well, I bought lottery tickets. They didn't work for me. Living is possible. They are making living is possible. So, for example, Def Lake, they're paying actually quite well, I think, for making templates. There's a person, I think he's called Eric. So he had a big video on like different ways to earn with open source. Um, but you won't be earning from day one, all right? So most probably not. So take it as an opportunity to study an MIT for free. Now, how to find time? Well, go slower. So if you want to get faster, go slower. Make it a small amount of time daily instead of one big lump of time in the weekend. And maybe try to relate it to your work. So the thing you love, try to find something in your work which can benefit from the similar technologies, and then just tell your manager that, well, let's say if you're working in IT, tell your manager that, well, can I spend 10% of my time, let's say half an hour every day, actually learning this technology? You can share that you're doing open source. You can not share. Actually, you should share because some companies they have policies. So please double check. But well, which manager will object of you learning stuff which is needed for the company? And if you are not in IT business, then well, if you are a gardener, then tell them that you want to fix their website or you want to make them a part of some flowers association. So find they're humans at your work, and they're humans in open source. Find the connection points. So I'm not sure if it's a good answer or not. So we'll find an answer together if you come to us, to me, and us. Um, refine our So the last one, refine our tech knowledge for meaningful contributions. I don't exactly understand what this question means. Can you explain me, guys?
Maybe let me see. It looks like he mentioned add another comment that he means well,
Oh, good.
these are
Good.
my main
Um,
okay, so the main
So
difficulties
for
that
for
he,
for, for Daniel, you have a free
yeah,
ticket to come to my free meetup, and we'll go into more details. There are no difficulties, mate. There are no difficulties. They look like difficulties.
yeah.
Regarding the technologies, the thing is that uh, how many people in the world know Java? That's a complicated question, right? That's a loaded question.
Uh,
How many people in the world know how to make a pencil? And the answer is zero, because you don't know how. Not a single person in the world knows how to make a wood, how to make graphite, how to make paint for it, how to make all the chemical components, how to make coffee for the person who will drill oil to make this pencil happen, and so on. Java is more complicated. Nobody in the world knows Java, even the creator. They will forget some specific in API. They will not know something. So as you go with the open source projects, and you will change them because you'll be finding your love, finding stuff you love, you'll become more in, because you don't have much time, right? Everybody has 24 hours, and I don't want you to exchange your life. So I had people who came to me and asked like, oh, I don't have time. And I asked, what are you doing? Oh, 3 hours is lead code things, and then I'm reading about algorithms, and then that. I'm like, okay, we only spend 2 hours per day now. From now on, 1 hour you contribute to open source, half an hour you read books, and half an hour you share. That's all. And now I've just saved you 3 hours to speak to your family because I want you to go slower. Otherwise, you'll just burn out, and you're not efficient anyway already. So, and then as you progress in this project, because you won't be fixing README forever, right? We'll find other friends to do that stuff, but you'll progress and you'll find your direction. You'll find what are you best at, what is your passion in this project. Let's say it's, I don't know, multi-threading in Java. Okay, let's do multi-threading. Or maybe you are very good in artwork. Well, let's make the project look more beautiful. Maybe we'll upgrade Duke, or maybe you'll create some swag with Duke on it. So, well, the guy who created this helmet in Star Wars, he's quite famous. I think he's probably Spanish. I think he's Spanish. I'm not sure. So, how many people in the world know this helmet? So, yeah, he didn't create Star Wars. That's fine. He didn't write the scenario, but he did what he was best at. He created this helmet, and everybody knows it. So, well,
okay,
I will put something in this conversation too. Uh, Most of us have to deal with imposter syndrome when we are doing code, and when we look for contributing in open source. You think I'm not good enough to do that, and how we can escape from this imposter syndrome.
okay, I made a post about it some time ago, a few days ago. So that's one of the reasons I sent to my account. Uh, there's a quadrant of like you do think and you don't, you take action, you don't take action, and the best and worst outcome. So, what is the worst thing which will happen if you after this meetup today, after this talk we just had? Actually, guys, you are all open source contributors now, because if not you, this change to Dev Lake wouldn't have happened. So every single of you is an open source contributor now. So sorry, I don't remember the name, but what if this amazing gentleman who raised those important questions, what if he goes to Twitter and shares his experience about this talk? and shares that, wow, he's actually open source contributor now. That easy. So what is the worst thing which will happen? Well, Bill Gates or somebody from Microsoft or from some evil corporation will create an article in Washington Times on the first page and write how stupid we all are. Well, I can handle that. Like, really, it's actually in a way I'll get famous. I don't think they'll find where I live and burn the house. Well, at least it's worth the price in my guess. So, but what is the best thing which might happen? Well, you might end up doing what you love and earning quite we call it six numbers salary in UK. So, but if you don't take this action, what is the worst thing? Maybe till the end of your life, somewhere in the back of your head, you'll be thinking that, well, I should have tried it. I should have listened to Nikita. I should have come to like 3, 4 meetups and just tried contributing because, well, 10, 30 minutes per day, it's not that much. And probably Nikita could have helped me to go slower and create time. So, yeah. So, for example, some of my mentees, they actually needed money. So I introduced them to other people who know more about this stuff, about earning money in open source. So, well, they were quite thankful actually. So I'm not ideal. I cannot do magic, but I can increase the chances. But it's all about you.
Very good.
Very. Let's thank Daniel because he sends thanks for you,
Yeah,
Nikita, for the
obrigado,
answer.
obrigado, Daniel. It's not about small as such, it's about persistence. And small is good because it is comfortable for you. Because, Daniel, I want you to have good life. I want you to spend your time with family. I don't want you to become this hero who burns out. So it's a persistency. Even in social networks where you will tweet, they will notice your persistence. So if you post 1 million per day and if you post 1,000 per year, these are two different things. And I would rather select second. So,
Oh,
yeah.
great. Yeah, it's a good advice because sometimes the people think that once you share something, oh, something will happen. No, man, you need to keeping going, keeping doing
That's
constantly. So that
that's the thing
it's
how open source works. So that's the problem. Let's say Daniel goes and studies Java from books and MIT and becomes the best Java in the world. And he goes and tries to fix OpenJDK. And he creates a such pull request, like huge one, 5,000 lines. It will get rejected, most probably, because people don't know who he is. But if he starts with the README file, he will create trust with the community. So they will know that if stuff is complicated, most probably it's right. And if it doesn't look right, let's talk to Daniel. And by the way, as you will be doing that, there will be connections between you and all the people. Some of the people I talk to, they actually people who don't accept connections in LinkedIn. Some of them they have pictures removed from there. So, well,
When I thinking that, I remember a movie, Fields Field of Dream. It's an old movie. In this time, I deliver my age. Field of Dream. When Kevin Costner says, "Built and they will came."
oh
yeah,
yeah, good. Well, we have another question from Hugo.
oh, yeah.
I think it's Hugo. Yeah,
I have to comment on Sergio. So I
yeah.
have I have a saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with friends.
Oh, great.
Very good.
Very good. So Yogo said, like contributions, some people keep asking me how can they start doing open source inside their company. And I think that you bring some tips how to do that. But if you can,
Why do you want to do it inside of your company? I need to know the reasons, guys. I need what you're trying to achieve, and maybe your targets will be wrong, and we'll have them adjusted. But if you really want to, I need to know the reason. I can. everybody will have their own journey. So, for example, if you work in a company, you're in banking, and you want to know the security problems before they become available to hackers, then probably I will introduce you to a WASP project in GitHub. So you will build connections with people from OWASP, and these people will teach you how to um, contribute and learn. Some companies, they don't allow open source as such, even in your free time. I will definitely not advise, whatever is the company, I will not advise using company's equipment for open source. Not because they can steal the rights or something, but because there's this small chance that you will put something which belongs to the company and which has to be secure, you'll put it to GitHub. So make it completely separate. I don't even use my company's Wi-Fi for my open source contribution. I'm not speaking about laptops. I'm not using Wi-Fi. The most I will use it, I will charge my phone. That's all.
Okay,
So
But
don't do it in the
uh,
companies
but
unless
Nikita,
it's open source.
sometimes I think you can be talking about inner source inside your company,
Yeah, that's
because
what I do in my company.
uh, because
well,
I have the same problem. I have some. We work in communities in my company. We have two communities sometimes doing the same thing. How can I put these two communities together and and talk?
I think
Okay, let's go and do it together doing this.
so. You see, it's probably not
Nikita,
fair, but yeah.
Nikita, before you are answer this question, let me bring Bruno. Bruno is
Oh
on
my
stage,
God.
Oh,
and he's
Obrigado, Bruno.
okay.
Obrigado.
Let me bring him. Hey,
Simon
Bruno.
Sinek
Hey,
is good, but Bruno is Bruno.
hey, hello everyone. Hey, Max.
Hola.
Hello.
Hey, Sergio. Hey, Nikita. So good to see you here. Thanks a lot for being here at SouJava, and thanks everyone here watching us. Right, so good to be here, and have you all participating with us. It's great. Nikita's doing a great job in terms of open source and helping you start with open source. So come on, ask questions, and that's great. So thanks a lot for. I just came here in the very end, Nikita, just to say a quick hello.
Bruno,
Yeah,
you are part of their presentation. You appear in a presentation.
you'll get famous.
you are in one slide.
Yeah. But go ahead, Nikita. Please answer Sergio's
Yeah.
question.
By the way, join Bruno's course. It's amazing. It's the best stupid mistake I did in my life, because basically what happened, I was very very short of money, but I like Bruno so much and I trusted him, and I already gave him my word. Not gave, I just told that I will pay, and I knew that he will accept it if I don't, and I quit. But I just took my British credit card, paid transaction fees and everything, and well, for some time it didn't work when I was in depression, but then actually I think that it actually was working. It was just keeping me there, supporting me in depression, and yeah, Bruno is amazing. So guys,
Thanks,
join
Nikita.
his course. It's the best investment you can do. So choosing
I
between
agree with
five
that.
MacBooks or 10 MacBooks Pro, it's 30K, and Bruno's course, go to Bruno's, and it's cheaper than 30K. So
Thanks, man. Thanks a
you're
lot.
welcome. It's all your fault, Bruno. Uh,
That's good. All right.
I'm probably alive because I was in your course. So yeah.
Oh man.
We had a person from Ukraine, and Bruno was helping this person. So this guy was, and I was helping this person. So as a community, we're helping this person to escape all the hell which is happening there, and that's the power of community. You can call it open source in a way, because I was checking like the border stuff. Bruno was supporting morally, and so well, it's amazing. It's like, how do you put a price tag on something like that?
All right. Yeah. So one of the things that we know when we talk about open source, and you guys are talking about community here, right? So one of the most important things for community is the trust, right? And the more you work together, the more you trust each other, right? And then and it's interesting that and that's actually also the best way to get a job, right? It's actually having trust from people, right? And one interesting thing that people forget is that familiarity breeds trust, right? For example, when you work every day with someone, right, you're participating in a project, and every day you commit code, and other people see you committing code, and then you see other people committing code, and then you answer questions on the group, and then you come here on lives, right? And you participate and you see each other. That's when you start trusting the other person, right? And so, and the more you trust the other person, the more willing you are to help, to participate, to ask questions, to contribute somehow, right? So it's a process that you have to do. That's why I think open source is so important, because it allows you to meet other people every day, right? To meet other developers every day. And not only, we do this in our work, right? So when you go to work every day, we see the same people every day. We say hello every day. We go have lunch every day, and we start trusting those people because we're familiar with them. And so open source allows you to do the same thing with other developers or other professional developers like you, right? They're also working on interesting code, on professional code. And so, man, this is amazing. That's why I really think that. And one thing, Sergio, you're saying about, oh, you have two communities doing similar things, right? And a lot of that has to do, for example, there are different user groups, right? They're doing similar things, but a lot of it has to do how much can I get close to you, Sergio, right? For me, it's easier. For example, for me, it's easier to be here with you, Sergio and Max, right? And it's harder for me to be with some other user groups. So the fact that we have a user group that allows me to be here with you, allows me to have that connection with you, right? And so if you just have one huge community that does, it's harder for people to meet, right? So sometimes it's good to have smaller communities, even if they repeat, even if they do the same thing.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Very
It's
good.
actually, yeah. I'll have a post about it soon. It's all about focus as well. Just a few days ago, I was following 3,500 people. Now I'm following 126 or something, and that's because I need to focus. So I need to focus on what I can do for the community, and these people like Bruno, they give me something I can use to help the community. So I need to be focused. Otherwise, I help nobody if it's too dispersed.
Oh, great. Bruno, do you know Hugo is on the chat? Maybe Hugo wants to join us to talking.
No, I was actually with Hugo
Oh, yeah,
a
really?
few minutes ago. Yeah. So basically, so Hugo had to leave. Right? I did invite him to come here, but he could not. So
Oh, okay.
Hugo and Nikita meet almost every Saturday, right? So again,
Yeah,
familiarity, right?
Nigo is amazing.
Yeah.
I can actually explain how this trust works in one example.
Mhm.
So, example, imagine you are working in a financial company in London, and you are doing with prediction models. So, two persons come to your doorstep. One person has been part of your open source projects. The company is called G Research, by the way, although I cannot guarantee. Anyway, so they have competitions and stuff, and you can enter them. So, one person who comes has been working in this area and has proven that he knows this stuff because it's already with the clients, it already works, bring company money. And another person comes from some top university with a pack of lead code tasks completed. But guys, if I'm hiring somebody for solving lead code tasks, yes, I will choose this person. But if I'm hiring the person to do the work which I need, I will hire the person who has already been doing this work, and I'm happy with this person. I've already know this person for a year or two, and I know this person like won't run away and like quality and stuff, because well, it's all about the risks. So MIT is an amazing institute. Oxford is an amazing university, but open source might give better guarantees and might produce better quality if used in the right way. So yeah.
So great tips, and actually, I'm impressive of the way that you bring this kind of topic, because when we are paying attention on a open source project, we got to start. Oh, I need to understand this technology, but it's not about technology. It's about
People.
the way about the people. So about the way that you create trust, like Bruno said. always says on the talks. So it's very interesting to see how can we bring bring our mind which we are love, put the things that we love, and step put one more step in your career. It's so interesting, so important, and we can see the power that open source can bring to our lives. It's meaningful because you can help the people as well together. So
Mhm.
why not working together to the people? If you want, as you said, Nikita, if you want to get faster, you go alone. But if you can go far away, it's easier to going together to the people. So I really love it. This amazing presentation. Thanks again to this opportunity, to believe in this opportunity, to accept to be here talking this special open source topic. I know that Bruno has a lot of stories about open source, but it's very interesting. I don't know if the people in the chat wants to listen something, but feel free to asking.
Yes, feel free to ask questions, no problem.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't see any question down here. I don't know, Sergio. Do you want to do some questions? Feel free to do that.
Okay, but I don't have any more questions at the moment.
That's good.
So, Bruno, do you want to say something to the people? Maybe bring more tips because you have a lot of great tips. I'm one that follow you as well.
Thank you. Well, so I mean, I was actually discussing this week, right? In terms of, I think the last controversy around open source is, is people actually have the Free Software Conservancy and the Free Software Foundation, talking about co-pilots on GitHub, right? So that's, co-pilots is using open source code to generate, to create a proprietary product, and so people are wondering how that is, right? So, and actually Amazon just released their code whisperer, right? That's also a AI code assistant, also based on open source code, right? So and so I think the one thing I'd like to mention, just based on this controversy that we had this week, right? um and I think that one interesting thing is that those tools, right, the AI tools, they're reading, millions and millions of lines of open source code to learn how to develop software, right? To learn how to program, to learn how to help you write code. So if those tools are doing this, right, like, artificial intelligence is reading open source code to learn how to code, guess who can also read open source code to learn how to code, right? You guys, right? So the best way for you to be an awesome developer is for you to really read code from other people, right? So software development is a creative activity that requires you to read good code, to know what is a good code, what is a bad code. And by reading good code and bad code online, on the internet, on open source code, it really allows you to, you know before you need to solve problems, you can see how other people solve problems, right? And you can build your mental brain, right? I mean, your mental muscles, right, on how to solve problems with software development. And so I don't think there's anything better than open source for you as a developer, right? I understand lots of people, but Bruno, but am I going to open source my code, or is my company right to open source my code, or should we use open source in my company because security, blah blah blah? I mean, there's all kinds of reasons where people are going to throw at you to why you shouldn't participate, or why your company shouldn't use, or why your company should not open source something. And all those reasons might be valid, right? But you as a developer, right? There's no reason why you should not read open source code. There's nothing. There's no reason at all that you can come up with, like, that should prevent you from reading and learning from open source, right? So I think that's the first step, right? Someone said here, who said yes, Danielle said, pretty good answers, small steps. Yes. So the smaller step is by reading code from other people for you to learn and be a better developer. And so, and there's no reason whatsoever. If you're not doing this today, you're just missing a big opportunity, right? So forget all the controversies, forget all the issues, forget all the problems, right? Reading open source code should be a part of your daily practice moments. And I think that is like my biggest suggestion in terms of open source. You might be afraid of contributing, you might not know which project to participate. All of these is real issues, right? And ask Nikita, and go ask Nikita, ping Nikita so he can help you out. All of these are good reasons, but reading open source code, there's nothing that prevents you from doing that. There's nothing there's nothing bad's going to come out of it. Only good stuff going to come out of it. So adds reading open source code to your daily programmer's life.
Yeah, just bring these problems to me. As long as I only need one thing, you need to be willing to get things better. Because if you're willing to make, because some people, I had one person and the person was giving me tasks like, oh, but if that fails, if that fails, if that fails. And then I just call this person like at night or text, okay, I can help in this way. And my friend was like, oh, I just imagined this case. I just made it out of thin air to show you that you're not a god who can solve everything. I was like, okay. So if you want to get better, I will help you. So far, I haven't seen a problem I couldn't solve. So hello, autism. And as an example with this Copilot thing, if you remember Industrial Revolution, or if you remember cars being introduced instead of horses, so don't be afraid. Don't be like people were afraid of, oh, what will we do? We solved horses all the time, and now there will be cars. They learned how to become car mechanics, and they started earning better and bringing more value to the society. So the Copilot is coming, the artificial intelligence is coming, and coding become the part of this stuff. Go there and if you don't understand it, talk to the community, ask how you can help. One of the things we love most in open source projects is maintenance, because maintaining takes a lot of efforts, and it's not very interesting when you have done it for some time. So become a maintainer of the, and this way you will see a lot of open source, and it will be a quality open source. It will be from Copilot or such, and it will be the latest stuff. So instead of going just to open source and learning how for loop works 100 times, go to Copilot. You will learn how for loop works, but well, you will learn stuff which is not yet even taught at universities. So yeah. The only problem, the only downside, guys, I cannot protect you from all the recruiters in the world. So, well, that you will have to like give them false phone numbers and so on, because they do look at GitHub.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting. I have a little question. For example, I don't know. Probably we already answered this kind of question, but uh, like a programmer, like a developer, we used to see most of the data, most of the content on the internet, and we sometimes we can get start to think, oh my God, I, I'm delayed. I need to run out. I need to run to grab those things, and it looks like we are always proceeding this kind of to be on a trend, and it's hard to deal with. I get start to think that we cannot learn everything. You need to focus on something, especially for example, I like Java, so I need to focus on the Java, or I need to focus on something that I love. I think that the way that we can do this is through open source, looking for the products that you love, that you like to use. Maybe you can figure out, oh God, I do this thing, but if I do little thing, I can help those people with it. So and what can I handle this kind of feeling that is, oh, everything is happening, but I'm stuck. How can I deal with? Do you want some
Yeah,
tips about that?
that's it's not a trick. My father is a Navy officer, so when I was small, he explained me that Navy maps, they are all correct. So the Navy map of the world is correct, and the Navy map of the same size, but of one Finnish Gulf, is also correct, but it shows much more details. So you only have desk that much. So as soon as you start going into details, you'll have, if you keep all the maps on the floor, on the desk, they will start falling off. So when you start going into, let's say, Java at bytecode, stop, then put something aside. Put aside, for example, running the community. Put aside maintenance. So create time. You will never know anything, but you can know, but you always know something good enough to share. So that's just the focus on the something and on your contributions. Just accept it. You will never know anything. Just accept it and move forward. So, well, that's how I do it. So I'm not the best developer in the world. That's fine. But I'm here today making this thing happen, and that's good enough. I know my website doesn't look nice. I know my banners don't look nice. I know my camera here. I didn't have, well, I have an excuse, but it's a bad excuse. So I didn't set it up. So the camera is not the best. But I'm already impacting the world. I will fix the camera. I will fix the banners. I'll do artwork. I will have friends helping me with Portuguese or Hindi or North America. But, well, it will happen. It will happen eventually. It will happen. So it's much better than dying and think, oh, I'm 90 and I've been preparing all my life, and well, I didn't do it.
Oh, thanks for the answer. Thanks for the answer, guys. Thanks. So, well, I think it's enough. I can see anything in the chat, more question or comments, but so I think that it's enough. Uh, Sergio, do you want to say something before to go?
Well, it's an honor always be here with Bruno. Now with Nikita, it's always a pleasure be with you guys, Max too, and Nikita. Thank you for spending this time with us here, and for everyone who are seeing us. Thank you too.
Okay. Are you say now and Bruno and Nikita close with gold
Well,
tips?
actually,
Okay.
let me go first, and then you guys can end, right? And then you can end.
Okay.
So, guys, thanks everyone. So thanks a lot, Max and Sergio, for organizing this. You guys are doing an awesome job here at SouJava and organize all these. It's great. Thanks, Nikita, for being here with us speaking. It's great. It's great to have you as a guest, and especially you guys. I see Danielle is saying thank you. There's a great presentation. So you guys here are the reason why we do all that, right? So you participate, come here, ask questions. And so the more you do that, the more of those things we're going to do, the more amazing people like Nikita are going to be able to bring here. So thanks all of you for being here with us. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks. So I must thank you everyone to down here, Bruno, for joining us in the end of the session, and Nikita for bringing this amazing topic because, well, there are a lot of things that we can talk about open source. So open source is a special world that we love to join in, and I must thank you, and I hope that you be able to join us again, Nikita, whenever you want. Okay, so just
Yeah, my
touch
pleasure. I
us,
can do it weekly if you want.
just touch us, and you are in a Discord channel as well, so we can talk every day if you want. Okay. Oh, Daniel say always pleasure. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Daniel. Thanks for watching us. So that's it, Nikita. Final words, please.
Thank you. So, by the way, Daniel, your question was this exactly the same as some very, very, very senior person asked me before. So, mate, you're not far from it, and I expect you to write a tweet and LinkedIn post about that stuff. All right, and put my name there, put Bruno's name there, put Serge's, and Maximilian will repost it. And you've already done your first open source contribution. You just need to let the world know. And well, you managed to find time for that. That's amazing. So congrats on going into open source journey. That's all,
Okay.
guys. Follow me, and anyway, you can find me, DM me, contact me. I'm very good in problem solving. I can code
Oh,
faster than you, but I can solve problems and find solutions you will never think of. It's like you'll be amazed.
Daniel already said he's following you and he will keep you in touch. That's okay, guys. So
My
see you
pleasure.
next time, and see you next time in this So
Yeah.
Java talks. Bye bye.
I'm not saying
Bye.
adios. I'm saying see you later, guys.
See you later.
We'll
Yes.
see you
See
later.
you
Bye.
later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.